PCOS misinformation is pervasive. Nam Kiwanuka knows all about that. She's the host of TVO's newest podcast, Mistreated, which focuses on how medicine has and still is failing women. Nam, thanks so much for being with us.
Thanks for having me, Molly.
So you did 2 episodes on PCOS, talking to Ontarians.
Yep.
What stood out about their stories?
Molly, it's the consistent thing that we heard. We had 2 guests. One lives in LA, actor Andrea Lewis. She was on Degrassi, and a researcher in Windsor, and she herself has PCOS.
Okay.
So the common thread was that when they initially were diagnosed with PCOS, they felt like their bodies felt different, but the doctors would dismiss them and say, oh, you're fine.
So a doctor dismissing that
Yeah.
is a huge deal.
Yeah.
So what happens? I mean, where do these women go?
Well, everybody goes online. And I also have experience with that because I had fibroids and my doctor was like, you have fibroids. I'm like, well, what does that mean? So you go online, you find a community, and you're like, okay, I understand this condition. But even myself as a journalist, I was following somebody. I was like, yeah, I should take that supplement. That will help my fibroids. And then I was like, no. But that's what happens because you end up finding a community of people who have this similar condition. And one of the things that Andrea said when it comes to PCOS, it's actually considered a lazy girl's diagnosis, which is super insulting.
Yeah.
The assumption is that you're big because you're not working out. You're just being lazy. It's not a big deal. But the researcher said, actually, some people with PCOS are lean, present lean. So if you can lose weight or not, it doesn't mean anything about you having PCOS. Andrea actually said when she was first diagnosed, she felt a lot of shame and embarrassment.
I want to come back to those online communities because in some ways they're really beautiful because people feel like there's some solidarity there. But the other side of it, there is information that is questionable at the least. So what are you seeing in terms of myths online?
Oh, lots of myths. The first one is if you have PCOS, you can't get pregnant. That's not true. The researcher we spoke to that women with PCOS can become pregnant. The other one is if you can't lose weight or if you gain weight, you have PCOS. That's not true. Again, some women present lean. So if you have PCOS, it doesn't mean it doesn't really have anything to do with your weight.
So what other myths are out there?
I think one of the biggest ones is that you can reverse PCOS symptoms. You can't. There is no cure for PCOS. And right now online, there are a lot of people who are saying you can get rid of it, you can reverse it. The researcher we spoke to said that you can manage it. You can do different things, like you can eat different foods or you can, with your lifestyle.
Let me ask you, I mean, your whole podcast focuses on healthcare failures for women. What would you say to women that are struggling with healthcare advice, feeling dismissed, feeling like the healthcare system is failing them?
You know your body. Like if something feels off, trust yourself. It's really hard to speak up with doctors, like to challenge them. I grew up in a very conservative family. You listen to doctors, you listen to teachers, you listen to authority. But when it comes to your health and a lot of women's conditions, it is dismissed. You have to keep advocating for yourself. It's scary, but your health matters, so speak up.